Hello and welcome. It's time to be speaking of wrestling, and I'm about to throw in my predictions for Night of Champions. I will try to do it in a brief way every match so that I will not have to separate this into two videos. Night of Champions is the only night of the year when every WWE Championship is on the line. It's coming this Sunday, called Night of Champions, the last pay-per-view before the second biggest pay-per-view of the year for WWE, SummerSlam. And right now WWE has only made official, as from what I know, 7 matches. The match missing is the Women's Championship held by Michelle McCool, and I really believe that her opponent will be Melina, making a rematch from when Michelle McCool took the title. I believe Michelle McCool will retain that title. What speaks against it is that if she does, there is more or less no one for her to face except Eve Torres, and I don't know if she's ready for that. That could speak for Melina winning the title back. On the other hand, what's the point of having Michelle McCool win it in the first place if they don't are gonna let her keep that title, except for making her the first ever Divas and Women's Champion? A lot of back and forth there, but I believe Michelle McCool will retain. We have the Divas Championship held by Maryse facing Mickie James. I believe Mickie James will win the title, mainly because she's had a long time coming for getting a title shot against Maryse. They have bet each other a couple of times in tag team matches, and Mickie James has earned this chance to go for the title several times over in Battle Royals and #1 contenders matches, and just for being Maryse's #1 opponent and foe and enemy. Also, as I said, it was a long time since Mickie James had a title. She's a 4-time women's champion and would also deserve to be both women's and Divas champion because she is really that good. And moving on, Rey Mysterio versus Dolph Ziggler. I believe Rey will retain that title. I don't think Dolph Ziggler's time is yet. I could see a rematch for SummerSlam, however, Dolph Ziggler taking the title there, it would make a bigger statement for him. I also believe in longer championship reigns, not the title jumping back and forth, and the mid-card titles such as the IC and US title are titles that need to hang around a champion's waist for quite some time to make it effective to him, not jump around each and every month. Rey, on the other hand, does not need that title, so Dolph could take it. But yet again, I believe Rey Mysterio will retain against Dolph Ziggler. However, in the near future, Dolph definitely has a title reign coming. He defeated John Morrison on SmackDown a couple of weeks ago. He defeated the Great Khali. However, that was not his win, as Kane did the work. Still a win. Moving on, the United States Championship, Kofi Kingston in a 6-pack challenge. And I wonder, there are a lot of great wrestlers there. He's facing the Big Show, it's MVP, Carlito, The Miz, and Jack Swagger. But where the hell is Evan Bourne? Evan Bourne defeated Kofi Kingston on Raw a few weeks ago. And why isn't he in the match? Big Show defeated Kofi, he is in. Evan Bourne should be an automatic contender for that title. I expected a triple threat for Night of Champions. Kofi versus Big Show versus Bourne. That didn't happen, of course. I believe Kofi will retain, and as I said, I believe in long championship reigns. Hence, I believe Kofi will retain the belt, the strap, and make his reign a continuous one. The only one I could see take the title from him is Jack Swagger, who as of now has a great momentum. He's way over with the crowd. He's hated to hell. People want to bust his teeth down his throat, literally. And he defeated MVP on Raw pretty easily. A clean sweep, no cheating, and that's really speaking for Swagger. So if there's a title change, Swagger will win. If not, Kofi will retain. That's the two possibilities I see there. MVP has no momentum. Big Show, why? Carlito, way too quickly, just separated his tag team from Primo and has a feud coming there. I don't see the US title involved there. And The Miz could be, but not right now. He needs more build up for the title in that case. Could be a surprise, but no. We could move on. ECW Championship, Tommy Dreamer versus Christian. I believe Tommy Dreamer will retain. Christian might take the title by cheating, making his heel turn that I would love to see, because I don't like him at all as a face. I used to love him as a heel. Much more entertaining, ironic. You always get the gloat in the eye. He's more competitive right now, and I like that. He slapped Tommy Dreamer. That indicates that he's the one making a turn. Tommy Dreamer is not. But I believe Tommy Dreamer will have a longer title reign than this, and I believe he will shut Christian's mouth at Night of Champions. So Tommy Dreamer will retain the title, especially after what we saw on the Abraham Washington show on ECW this week. Tag Team Championship, Chris Jericho and question mark facing Legacy, Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes. I say a retain. Dolph Ziggler is a candidate here. Maybe it could be his biggest night, take the Intercontinental Championship from Ray and win the tag team titles in one night. That's never been done before. However, what speaks, if Ray has his match with Dolph first, before the tag team title match, that would however tell us that Jericho would not choose Dolph to be his partner. Why? Well, he didn't want to team up with Edge anymore, he said, when he came back, and he never believed Edge will come back because he was too injury prone. So Jericho would now go out, as he says, to find the ultimate partner, and the ultimate partner is not someone who had a match earlier the same night, because he's exhausted and he's tired, and it's a risk move. That could, however, open for another one who will make, in that case, will make his WWE debut. As far as I know, I haven't seen the last SmackDown yet, and that would be Chris Masters. The Masterpiece, who signed a deal with WWE a few weeks ago, has not made his debut yet. He may do it at Night of Champions, and in that case they also will retain. So I believe for a longer championship, also for Chris Jericho to push for a future feud with Edge, telling him, I found someone better than you, someone reliable, whom I could win and keep my tag team championship, something I couldn't do with you. CM Punk will retain against Jeff Hardy and face John Morrison for SummerSlam. At least that's my prediction. John Morrison has beaten CM Punk twice, and it will piss me off to see if John Morrison will have to have another #1 contender match before getting his title shot. He has voiced interest over getting a title shot. He should have it right away. CM Punk will retain. That will be a great match. I believe CM Punk Morrison for SummerSlam, and that will also help CM Punk make the full swing over to being a heel. Triple H, Cena, Orton for the World Championship. Orton might retain, but on the other hand, I could see an opening for John Cena versus Triple H, a third rubber match. Cena won at WrestleMania 22, Triple H won at Night of Champions last year. I could see the rubber match at SummerSlam, and I would believe in that case Triple H will win the title, because Cena will make then the chase to become the champion, and Triple H will pin Randy Orton. However, then we will have a rematch clause situation, but they could have Cena versus Orton #1 contenders match. So I'm really split there. Orton could retain, Triple H could take the title, and Cena, whom actually pinned Orton last week on Raw, could be in line for a title shot. I might be over having way too high beliefs here in the creative, because Orton of course should have a rematch if losing, so that could speak for Orton winning. Thanks for viewing, and please feel free to share your opinions. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a nice day.